Hey guys, so I'm back with another video. So in this video we're going to be seeing how to make such a web page. Before we get into how to make that, first I have to tell you about the headings and paragraphs in HTML. Let's say I write this text. I've written hi world and we'll consider them as two separate paragraphs. I'll save this, refresh my page. HTML has not treated it as two separate paragraphs, just shown it as one single line. What HTML does is, if you have not used tags, the proper tags which are required, to treat all of this space as one single space. To differentiate between each of it, there's something called as a p tags, short for paragraph. So we'll use that tags and we'll wrap that welcome text inside the p tags. This is how the p tags look like. There's an opening p tag and there's a closing p tag, like all the other tags. And you have the welcome text inside the p tags. We'll save this, Ctrl S, we'll refresh it, and it's on a new paragraph now. So what the p tags create, the difference is that when you open a p tag, by default HTML knows it, that this whatever follows the p tag and before the closing p tag, it has to be in a new line. The same way you can use it for this too. So you wrap the hi world text inside a p tag. Now I have wrapped the hi world text inside the p tag. I've saved it. I'll refresh this page. So you can see earlier and now there's a slight difference. The hi world text has like come down a bit. That's what the p tags also do. Although they say this has to be in the next line, they give like a space between the previous one and the next one, because whenever you write a new paragraph you need some space between the previous one and the next one. Since HTML does not know that hi world is the first thing that we have started in the body, by default that the p tags indicate that okay, there has to be some space between the previous one and hi world. So it just puts a little bit of space. Now you can't just go around writing p tags and writing your text. So HTML has created a separate thing called headings. So how headings work is, they start from h1 and go on till h6. So how you write the h1 text is, you open the h1 tag and there's a closing h1 tag and the heading 1. This is how h1 text is written. So you save this, you refresh it. You can see why it's called as h1 and that is called as a paragraph. There's a difference in the size. h1 tags are bold, and like h1 you have other tags going on till h6. So I've written each of these texts. Now I'll run this code. You can see there's a difference in the font size and all of them are bold, unlike the p tags. Now these are just what is inbuilt inside HTML in h1 tags and p tags. Not everyone is satisfied with the color that heading 1 contains, the font size, the boldness and all of it. So what HTML allows is that you can link a CSS. It's called cascading style sheets, which gives style to your HTML elements. So now what I'll do is, I'll create a new file inside my website folder. Create a new file. I call it styles.css because it's a CSS, so it has a extension of CSS. So instead of all of this text, I'll just use two types of ones, heading 1 and paragraph. And inside heading 1 I'll just put welcome, and inside paragraph I'll use our channel's name. So now I'll save this. So how would CSS, the styles.css file, actually change the color of the welcome text, change the color of I love coding, or give it a different font size or something? Before we go ahead with that, we'll just see how the welcome text and all of it look. This is how it looks, welcome and I love coding. This is how it looks. So to access the welcome, which is in h1, we'll use the h1 name itself, and we'll give it a font size of, let's say, 80 pixels. 80 pixels, px short for pixels. We'll save it. Before we go ahead and load the program in our Google Chrome, we have to tell HTML that we are trying to access this folder. So we want you to use whatever content is inside this styles.css in HTML2. So for that, what we'll do is, we'll use a link tag. Link does not require a closing tag. So first we have to tell the path, which is used by href, and inside that we'll give it styles.css. The reason we are giving it styles.css is both index.html and styles.css are inside the same folder website. If they are not, you'll have to specify the path of where styles.css or with what is the file that is there. If it's in another folder, you have to specify that folder name and styles.css. And another thing that you have to keep in mind is the rel text, which will tell the link tag that this is the style sheet, so it knows that what it has to do, because there are various things that you can do with another file. So you have to specify what this is. So it was like this. We'll save this folder and we'll see the difference. We have increased the font size to 80 pixels. We'll refresh this folder and you can see the difference in the font size. It's pretty big. Now you can do the same for this p text too. So instead of h1, we'll put p, because that's what it's a p tag, and we'll change the font size to be 50 pixels, and we'll save this file and we'll refresh this. As you can see, there's an increase in the font size. Now initially I had showed you what we're trying to achieve is like a background image, and we want this text to be in the center. So for that I've downloaded an image called background.jpg, and this is how the image looks like. So we'll get the text in the center out here. Okay, so for that what we are going to do is we're going to put the image behind all of them, which is inside the body tag out here. So for that, like h1 and p, we are going to use the body tag and we're going to say background image. Once background image is there, we have to tell from where do you have to take the background image. It can be a URL, anything. So we'll use the URL text, and out here we'll specify the name of the background image. So it's background.jpg. You save this file, go to Google Chrome and you refresh it. The image has been covered, but so you can see here it's like repeating itself so that it can cover the whole Google Chrome page. So we don't want it to repeat, we just want one single image as a whole. For that what we do is there's a property called background repeat. So there's a property called background repeat. We use that, we say no repeat. We save this, we go to our Google Chrome and we refresh it. Since it's no repeat, these images don't come. But this is blank space. Nobody wants to have just the blank space in the end, and also in the bottom there's a bit of a blank space. So what we're going to say is we're going to say that the background size, the size of the image should cover the whole web page. It should be background size. We'll give it cover and we'll save this. We'll refresh it. So it has like stretched the image, so the whole web browser is like covered. So now what we want is the text to be in the center. We want both of the text. So we'll go to the body tag again. Out here we'll use the code text align and we'll put it as center. We'll save this. We'll go to our Google Chrome. We'll refresh this. It's in the center out here. This is what we wanted and we have achieved it. If you want to add color to it, you can do that too. Like let's say we want to add a red color to the heading, although it would not look nice, we'll just add it. So we use the color text and we'll put it red. We'll save this. We'll go to our program. You can change the color like this. There are like really a lot of ways you can style your web page. We'll look at that in the upcoming videos. This is where we stop in this video. Thank you.